All right, today we're going to talk about writing linear equations in slope-intercept form given a table and 2 points. All right, so remember slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where m is my slope and b is my y-intercept. Now, nice little tidbit we have here is that y and x in this equation are just a point, any point on my line, okay? So we're going to be using those in this. All right. So we're going to write the equation in slope-intercept form from the table. So first thing I need to pick out are 2 pieces of information. What is my slope and what is my y-intercept? Now remember, the y-intercept on my table is where x is 0. Because anytime we're on the y-axis, x will always equal 0. So looking here, right there, x is 0. So my y-intercept is the point 0, 100. Now from here, I need to pick out my slope. So remember, the slope from a table is the change in y. Oops. Okay. Over our change in x. So finding the change in my y, I'm adding 5 each time. And the change in my x is 1. We're adding 1 each time, right? Go from 0 to 1, we add 1. So my slope is 5 over 1, or just 5. So now we're going to plug into y equals mx plus b. No. So my m is 5, my b is 100. And there you have it. So my equation would be y equals 5x plus 100. All right, we'll look at another one. Okay, finding my slope to go from 8 to 11. Is adding 3. 11 to 14, we're adding, not 15. We're adding 3 again. And 14 to 17, we're adding 3 again as well. On the x, we're adding 1. So my slope, remember, change in y. Over the change in x. So my slope is 3 over 1, or just 3. Now where is x equal to 0? Okay, right there. So my y-intercept is the point 0, 8. So when we plug in y equals mx plus b, I get y is equal to, my slope is 3, x plus 8. And there we have it. All right, I want you to take a minute and do this one on your own. Pause the video. All right, so we're going to look for our slope. All right, so looking at this one, if I do my little looking at the slope, it doesn't look like I have a consistent slope. However, if I take all these, whoops, let me go back. If I take all these fractions, 2 over negative 4, negative 1 over 2, negative 2 over 4, and 4 over negative 8, they actually all are equivalent fractions because 2 over 4 simplifies to 2 over negative 4 simplifies to a negative 1/2. Negative 2 over 4 simplifies to a negative 1/2. And 4 over negative 8 also simplifies. So all of these simplify to negative 1/2. So my slope is a negative 1/2. My y-intercept is the 0.06. So my equation is going to be y equals negative 1/2 x plus 6. And there we have it. All right, whoops. We're going to look now, what if I am given 2 points? So, again, key thing I need a slope and my y-intercept. Okay, so I can find my slope from 2 points. So I've got my x1, y1, x2, y2. And here's what we're going to do. I'm going to plug these into the slope formula. And I get negative 5 minus 5. Oops. Before I do that, remember our slope formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, which is going to give me negative 5 minus 5 over negative 1 minus 4. Well, negative 5 minus 5 gives me a negative 10 over negative 1 minus 4 gives me a negative 5. Negative 10 over negative 5 gives me a slope of negative 2. Or not negative 2, sorry. Negative divided by negative is a positive, so a positive 2. Come on, pen, work today. Positive 2. So my slope here, guys, is a positive 2. Now I need my y-intercept. So this goes back to, remember what I said about x and y and when I have slope-intercept form. All right. I'm going to pick one of my 2 points. Okay. So we're just going to use the first one, make it simple on myself. And I'm going to plug in my information that I'm given. So I have my m and I have a point. So I have an x and a y. And we're going to solve to find our b. Okay. So I've got my y is 5, my m is 2, and my x is 4. And we're going to look for that b. Well, I know 2 times 4, right? I can solve this here for b. 2 times 4 is 8. Now I'm wanting to isolate b, right? I want to get this by itself. Well, since the 8 is adding, subtract 8 from both sides. 5 minus 8 gives me negative 3. So my b is equal to a negative 3. So now, when I write this equation in slope-intercept form, my final answer, I have to rewrite this one last time, guys. My m is 2, and my b is a negative 3. So that right there is my final answer. All right, let's look at another one. I've got 0, -1, and 1, -4. So let's start by finding our slope. Remember, slope formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. All right, so I'm going to do -4 minus a -1 over 1 minus 0. Well, -4 minus, so remember when we minus a negative, what happens? Okay, that becomes +1 there. So I end up with a -3. 1 minus 0 is still just 1. So my m is equal to a -3. Okay, so now we're going to pick a point. Again, it does not matter which point we use. So this time, instead of using the first point, I'm just going to use the second point just to show you it's still going to work, okay? All right, so plugging into y equals mx plus b, I get my y is -4. My slope is a -3, and my x is 1. And we're looking to see what b is. We need to find b. Well, -3 times 1 is -3. I still have plus b. Okay, I'm going to add 3 to both sides since it's a negative, right? We're isolating here. -4 plus 3 is a -1. So my b is a -1. All right, now all we have to do is plug back into y equals mx plus b. So I get y is equal to -3x minus 1. And there's my final answer. All right, and there we have it. That is